Welcome back to Roam Your Roots. In this video, I am going to introduce you to the best resource for mapping out your Swedish ancestry. It's called Cartbuild, and I swear I have not come across such an amazing resource for mapping probably since Griffith's valuation maps, which are used for Irish ancestry. And if you have Irish ancestry, I've actually done a ton of videos on Griffith's valuation maps and mapping out your Irish ancestors pre-Irish censuses. So if you are interested in those videos, I'll link them down below. But Cartbuild and the mapping tools that are on this website are fantastic for mapping out your Swedish ancestors as you're researching the Swedish Household Examination Records. And if you don't know what those are, I also have a ton of resources on those. Those are the go-to Swedish genealogy resource when you're researching your Swedish ancestors in Sweden. They are super geographically detailed, and those records, along with the tools that Cartbuild has, will help you map out your Swedish ancestry to a T. So before we jump into it, make sure you subscribe to this channel if you like genealogy mapping videos like this or genealogy tutorials, or maybe you're interested in starting your Swedish genealogy research. I am sharing a ton of resources for you, specifically mapping out your Swedish ancestry, because this is Roam Your Roots and I am all about genealogy mapping. And really quick, if you have Swedish ancestry, which I assume you do because you're watching this video, tell me where your Swedish ancestors are from in the comments down below. I'm really curious to know if any of you have ancestors from around the same places that my ancestors are from, around Ljungby and Kronoberg County. So in this video, I'm going to introduce you to Cartbuild and walk you through all the functions that it has. And again, in previous videos, I've explained how to read and research the household examination records. You need to watch those first before you do Cartbuild, because these really go together. Like, on one hand, you have the Swedish Household Examination Records, on the other hand, you have Cartbuild, and they mesh perfectly together, especially in the Swedish Household Examination Records. If your ancestors live in a location that you have tried to Google and it just doesn't come up, because that's a reality. A lot of these tiny little localities that our ancestors lived in Sweden aren't Googleable. You can't just go on Google Maps and find them. So for that reason, Cartbuild is a great resource for you, because it has, I swear, it has everything on it. So I am very passionate about Cartbuild. In future videos, I am going to show you how to find localities on Cartbuild and show you a few of my mapping projects that I'm doing. But this video is just going to introduce you to the website and show you all you can do on it. Okay, so this is what the page looks like when you first go onto cartbuild.com. So there are a few aspects to this that I want to point out. You'll see over here on the left side, there are a bunch of buttons, and on the right side, there are a bunch of different options, and these are all options for different maps. So right now, we are looking at an aerial map taken from about 1975. There is also one from 1960, and keep in mind, if you click another one, you have to unclick that. So that's the one from 1960. There's even one from 1626. You can see it's very zoomed in though, so sometimes you have to zoom out. There is 1626, 1881. There's a bunch of different maps here. It's super fun to play around with. My personal favorite is Ekokarta. So if you zoom in, these are extremely detailed maps. Well, it seems like we've zoomed in on a forest here. Oh, here we go. Here's a little village. They're just extremely detailed. And I found that places that my ancestors lived that are listed in the household examination books are on this map specifically, the Ekokarta, that aren't on Google Maps. I've tried to figure out where they are in Google Maps and I can't, but I've found them on this map. So this program is extremely helpful in finding those old place names that might not exist anymore, or obscure places that just don't show up on maps. So I've given you an overview of the way you can click in through different maps. There's also a terrain map here. You can go to a satellite map, a modern satellite map. There's just a bunch of different ones. So let's stay on Ekokarta. On the left side, there are a bunch of fun little functions over here that you can do. Obviously, you can zoom in and zoom out. You can also use this function here, which splits the page. So if I click it, now the page is split. On the left side, you can see we're on the 1960 map. You can pick any of the maps. And on the right side, we are on the satellite map. Again, you can pick any of the maps. So let's just compare 1960 on the left side with 1975 on the right side. And you can use this little tool here to scroll. Now, obviously, there isn't a ton of difference between 1960 and 1975, but you can tell how crazy accurate this is because the roads line up perfectly with each other. I'll give you another example. If we go to Ekokarta, that was taken a long time before, this is where it gets even more fun because you can see how the old map overlays with the modern map. And see how accurate that is, even with this older map, how the roads perfectly line up with one another. It is crazy. This is a great function when you want to have a look at a more modern map and get a sense of where things might be on like Google Maps if you're searching for Google Maps. It's just a fun function to scroll back and forth. So to get back to the singular map, you just click this singular square again. And we are on the 1960 map. Let's go back to Ekokarta because I like that one the most. So now we're back on the singular map. So that's that function, this dual map function here. This function just makes a full screen. So not that exciting. Undo again. This function that says go to, click on it and you can put in any specific latitude, longitude that you want. I'll show you really quick how to actually get latitudes and longitudes. Let's go to Google Maps and I'm gonna search for Ljungby, which is where my family is from in Sweden. There, the pinpoint is just on downtown Ljungby. If you right click on the pinpoint, the latitude and longitude will pop up. All you have to do is click on that and it will copy. Say I don't want right there, I want like a specific place. What if I want the latitude and longitude of Berghem down here? I can just click it. Another pin will pop up, right click, there you go. That was a bad example because that's also a little city. What if I want the latitude and longitude of a random place in this green space? All I have to do is click and a little pin will come up and then the latitude and longitude is right there. So anyway, I copied that latitude and longitude point from Ljungby and now all I have to do is paste it in here, push OK, and now I am in Ekokarta in Ljungby at that exact latitude longitude spot. So I can zoom out here and we are right there. This function right here is just gonna take me to where I am. Unfortunately, I wouldn't know where I was because I'm not in Sweden, and I'm pretty sure this is only applicable in Sweden, or else it would just take me to a blank space on the other side of the world. But if you were located in Stockholm and you gave permission for it to use your location, you could click this little hop over button. It would take you to exactly where you were, and you could look at an old map or any one of these maps and how they apply to where you are in Sweden. This little line button right here, you can click around and create lines. I'm not sure why you'd want to do that. I mean, I guess I do this same thing in Google My Maps. So if you've watched those videos, you know I love plotting little properties like that. So that might come in handy on this platform. I prefer to do it on Google Maps, but you might want to use it on this platform. If you want to get rid of a line, you push this little delete button over here and you push this last option, which means remove all notes basically. And the notes on this are the things that you add, like these lines. So click that and the lines are gone. Another thing that you can do, another form of notes that you can take on these maps are the location notes. So you can pinpoint and then put a note on it. So Grandpa's Farm, 1881. Okay, and now it is saved there forever. If you want to look at the map without your notes, you can unclick and click. the notes will go away or come back. Okay, I should jump in here and say that it is unclear how long your maps stay in Cartbuild. They don't save forever. So what I suggest is do all you can do in Cartbuild in one day and transfer that to Google My Maps. And in future videos, I'm gonna show you how to do that, but I wouldn't trust Cartbuild to save all your work on it forever. The last tool that I wanna show you over here on the left is this little guy here above the delete button. You can move your notes around. So I made a new note just to be able to show you. Example, click that. You click your notes, so it's gonna highlight the different notes that you have. Right now it's highlighting this because it's the only one that I have, and you can move it around. Cool little thing that you can do there. So the last function that you can do is actually save what you're working on in this type of file that I don't understand because I am not a cartographer. As far as I know, it's a plain text file, which means if you open it up, it'll open in whatever program you have, Microsoft Word, Notes. I don't understand it, so I'm not gonna pretend I do. I'm a genealogist, not a cartographer or a geographer. So I'm gonna skip that one, but if you know what this means, you can use it. So that's Cartbuild. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope it was useful for you. Again, when I discovered this resource, I was over the moon because I finally had a way to find those super specific localities where my ancestors lived in Sweden. So if you liked this video and you want more videos just like this, be sure to subscribe to this channel so you get notified every time I upload a new video. The following videos after this one are going to show you how you can find specific localities in Cartbuild and how you can map out places on Cartbuild and transfer those to Google My Maps so you have them forever. Thanks for watching.